I'll be trading with pocket option. And on today's video, I'm going to show you a very simple, very powerful strategy that I've been using for a while now. But right now, it is very effective on the current market. So I want to make a video on it and show you how the strategy works. Right? So over here, we're using just two indicators. Like I said, it's a very simple strategy. So we're using just two indicators. The first indicator we're using right here is called parabolic SAR, and the second indicator we're using is called MACD. All right, and this is the setting of our parabolic. So over here on the acceleration, we are using it as a 0.02. On the maximum acceleration, we are using it as a 0.2, and it's actually a default setting anyways. So on the start part here, make use of this color green here, and when you're done, you hit save. So the last indicator I use is called MACD with a fast period of 12. The slow period right here is 26, while the signal period is 9. On the start part here, I actually take the MACD and the signal line both on 2 pixels. So that's pretty much all I do. So when you're done, you hit save. So how this strategy works, this strategy is a base trend confirmation strategy. All you just have to look at is to make sure that you have your both MACD and your parabolic SAR giving you a strong trend before you enter a trade. Alright, do not forget we are doing this on 1 minute and 30-second candle time frame. I'm also using this on Heineke and She candlestick. Alright, so for example, if we're going for a down trade, the number one thing we always need to look at is to make sure that we have a confirmation of our parabolic SAR just starting out on a trend in the overbought position. You must have it above the candlestick, and not only that, make sure that your MACD is in a very strong overbought position as well. The both line is to intersect each other and coming down in the trend before you enter a trade. To actually find a very perfect strong signal is to always make sure that you're taking your trade when your parabolic SAR is just starting out, for example 3 or 4 dots just coming up. All right, do not take a trade when it is more than 4 dots giving you the trend. Or always make sure that you stay at least on the 4 dots at maximum before you enter the trade. So that is when you're going to find a very strong signal. So when you see that the dot is already down for like 10 or 15 dots, do not enter a trade, because at that point the market might actually reverse. All right, so that is just the strategy. So also if you're going for an up trade, it's something applicable in a reversal position here. All you just have to see is to make sure that you have your MACD line, both line in a very strong oversold position. The both line is to intersect each other, giving you an uptrend. The same thing applicable with your parabolic SAR. You need to have your parabolic SAR in a very strong oversold position. What I mean by that is to make sure that you have it at the very bottom of the chart. All right, just like what happened right here. So just make sure that your parabolic SAR is just starting out, then you can enter a trade. And do not forget, we are only placing our trade on a very strong candlestick confirmation. So that is how it works. So right now I'm analyzing the market. So the strategy actually work with OTC. All right, I'm doing this with OTC and a normal market. I'll be using OTC and normal market onto this trade. So the strategy actually work with OTC and a normal market. So right now I'll be analyzing the market. So when I get a good moment, I'm going to come down and enter a trade. All right. Okay guys, this is actually a very perfect moment. I'm going to enter this trade before I start explaining. As you can see right here, over here, our MACD actually intersect in an oversold position, and the body is actually giving us an uptrend. And not only that, when you check right here, you can see that my parabolic SAR just started and gave me just 2 dots as a confirmation. This is actually a very perfect moment because it actually indicates that this trend is about to start going up. And I do not enter a trade blindly. You can see that I make sure that I only place my trade on a very strong candlestick. So that's all I actually look at. It's very important that the candlestick you're placing your trade on is easy for you to predict. It must be a very strong candlestick that actually help you to understand the trend, that makes you to know that this trend is actually going up. All right, if you're going for an up trade. So a good one here, guys. So I think we have like 9 seconds left to close this trade. All right, a good one here, guys. And the money on that. I hope you actually understand, guys. It's a very simple strategy. All you just have to look at is to make sure that you are having at maximum of 4 dots of your parabolic SAR giving you an uptrend. It's something applicable. Always make sure that your MACD both line intersect each other, right? And they must be giving you an up confirmation trend before you enter a trade. I hope that is clear. A good one there, guys. Keep analyzing. So when I get a good moment, I'll come down and enter a trade. All right. Okay guys, so I found a good moment here. I'm going to place a trade on time. As you can see right here, we have our indication of our parabolic SAR, And if you check our MACD right here, the both line intersect on this position and they're giving us an uptrend confirmation. So that's the reason why I entered the trade. And if you actually check this trend, you see that this is actually a very perfect trend. I make sure I place my trade right in a very strong candlestick right there. So guys, let's wait and see if this is going to be a good one. We have like 30 seconds left to close this trade. Let's see if this is going to be a good one in the next few seconds, right? Alright guys, a good one here guys. We'll end the money on that. That's actually a good one. Keep analyzing guys. Okay guys, I found a good moment here. I'm going to enter a trade on that real quick. As you can see right here, the trend is just coming down, and if you check our MACD, the both line intersect right in this position, and they're both heading down on the trend. Something applicable with our parabolic SAR. Like I just said, always make sure that your parabolic SAR is only giving you like 3 or 4 dot maximum confirming the trend before you enter a trade. Is very important. And not only that, always make sure that you're checking your candlestick. Always make sure that you're placing a trade on a very strong candlestick. It's very important guys. So we have like 18 seconds left to close this trade. So let's wait and see if it's going to be a good one in the next few seconds. All right. Okay. A good one here, guys. We'll end the money on that. It's actually a perfect one. Keep analyzing, guys. Okay, guys. So this is actually a very strong trend. I'm going to jump in real quick. As you can see right here, I have a 4 dot of my parabolic SAR confirming the trend. And the reason why I actually love this trend, if you check the candlestick, the first candlestick here down to the last one I placed my trade on, it's a very strong one. So it actually means that the trend is actually coming down so rapidly. So that's the reason why I need to jump in real quick. And there's something applicable with my MACD. The both line intersect here, and you can see that they are really coming down in a very strong trend, and you can see the MACD signal bar here is actually confirming that as well. So when you see something like this, actually very advisable for you to jump into trade on time before the trend reverse. Is very important. So guys, let's wait and see if there's going to be a good one, which I'm very certain of. We have less than 14 seconds right now to close this trade. So guys, this is how you actually make use of this strategy. It's a very simple strategy that need to work on your own timing as well. The timing is very important. As you can see with the money with that. So the timing is very important. Always make sure that the number one thing is to always make sure that your parabolic SR is just starting out. Alright, first thing you need to have it above the candlestick, and it's more preferably to have it in a very strong overbought position. Alright, so when that happens, make sure that the candlestick you're placing your trade on is a very strong candlestick, giving you a downtrend confirmation. Make sure that you have your MACD both line in the overbought position to intersect each other, coming down with the trend before you enter a trade. Is very important. There's something applicable if you're going for an up trade. Alright, so make sure you have your parabolic R just starting out in the oversold position, giving you an uptrend. Confirm that with your MACD in a very strong oversold position as well. The both line is to intersect, giving you an uptrend before you enter a trade. And do not forget that you always need to check out on the candlestick you are placing your trade on. It must be a very strong candlestick before you enter the trade. Is very important. So guys, this is where I'm going to stop on today's video.